this whole PR thing, there's all these really puff pieces and all this news around Harry and Meghan with these articles that make you think, oh, isn't that just look at that the princess? What the princess doing today? What's she doing? This is her PR working overtime. They just really put it in our faces. But then I'm noticing negative things about William and Catherine. And when I hear that these people, these insiders from Kensington Palace, it could be anybody from within, I think, Harry and Meghan's camp. Let's just keep it real. They could be putting out things saying that their marriage is on the rocks or they have these issues. And this article that I read did say that. But then at the same time, it said that, they're like any other married couple that is going to have a row. That's what the Brits say. They have a row. And this is something that they can do in a way that's respectful. It's not going to jeopardize their marriage. Okay, but this is the key thing, okay? This is why I speak out on this couple. Because of what they do. They are in the news. It's because Harry and Meghan, they put themselves in the news. They come out with these specials. They do all these money-making adventures. And what does it do? It gets people watching them and people speaking about the news that they put out there. What do Catherine and William do? They don't do any of that. They keep their private lives private. And they focus on their charity work so that if anybody going to do any news talking, it's going to be about their work. And this is why they are going to win the marriage, togetherness, love, whatever you want to call it, against Harry and Meghan. Because what Harry and Meghan have done is they have put themselves out as a married couple in the news with their private comings and goings. And at this point, it's going to be so much for them to handle that they won't be able to overcome their married life as a couple in the spotlight. It's too much to handle. It's too much to try to endure. And the secret weapon that Harry and Meghan don't have, William and Catherine do have. And that is they keep their lives private. They don't speak out about it. They don't try to draw people in for the sake of making $1. They have it well refined and classy, something Harry and Meghan don't. And Harry and Meghan don't realize that, they're going to have their rows, their marital spouts or whatever. But because you are a couple in the spotlight, your working relationship is going to sour. And there ain't going to be no private life, but we're going to be here to watch and talk about it. Why? Because they opened the door for their private lives to be talked about. Because they are trying to make money by any means necessary. And when you do that, you open the door up for a lot more than you bargained for. Even when you haven't even asked for it. And that's just what it is. And so you have to see how Meghan and Harry have lost the fight already before it even began. And William and Catherine, they are going to win the battle in a very slow, meticulous, well, dignified kind of way because of how they are going about their lives, without trying to bring people into their private comings and goings. And that's the difference. And this is the other thing that Meghan does to draw attention to herself. We've seen her do things with that whole patch debacle. And now she's out and about without her ring. Well, doesn't she understand that being out without your ring is going to draw people to like, oh my goodness, what's going on with the marriage? Why isn't she wearing her ring? Girl, put the ring on so people can just shut up. But she wants people to talk about her. She wants people to notice that she doesn't have the ring on because she's clearly sending a message. And whether she's sending that message that she is no longer interested in her husband or she's trying to get people talking about her, the fact is she's causing the controversy. She's causing people to create stories around the things that she is doing. And she knows this. So they are definitely in a position now where they see the backlash. They see that this whole rebranding in America is just not going to work. And we could have told you it wasn't going to work from the very beginning. A lot of people could have. But, you know, they didn't want to listen at the time. So will they be able to rebrand themselves successfully as they are now trying to forge ahead with their new different ways of life? I don't think so. It ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. You just gonna keep trying. We're gonna keep eating our popcorn and watching you try. You're gonna keep trying, but it ain't gonna happen. Their popularity is going down and their image in public is tarnished. People see them and they don't think, oh, successful royals. They think, no, they think frauds. They think perpetrators. They think something wrong with you. They think you are the fake royals. They think things that show not you in a good light. And people, when they are seen with them, understand that that could be a reflection on them, because show me your friends. That tells me a lot about who you are. And so people don't want to be seen with them because that will make them look bad. And I think it's really sad that they are releasing their Invictus Games documentary right before the anniversary of Princess Diana's death. How sad is that you have to even use her death in anything marketable? Why are you even doing anything right before her death to commemorate her death? I think, what are you trying to overshadow it? Are you trying to ride the wave of people commemorating her death with your documentary? Like, what is the point? Why even do that? And with the most recent news, and this is what Catherine and William are vowing never, ever to do, is to utter the word spare. They're making certain to not use this word as a go-to word to describe what the backup child is there for. Not to make the same mistake that has happened with Harry. And I think it really, if you really look at it, was it really a mistake? That is what it is. I think the problem is someone thinking like Harry. And, a lot of people, I would look at even the word spare as a good thing. Be the spare of something. Ain't nothing wrong with being a spare. It's all in how you look at it. If I were the spare backup to some being a king or queen of something, hey, at least I know maybe I'm not the king or the queen at that time. I'm the spare. But you know what that says to me? I must have a pretty good life. Being a spare means that you won't have to worry about the troubles and all the things that someone that is in the actual top job has to do. So it really isn't all in how you look at it. And I'm so surprised that Harry would be so caught up, bent up about being second, when your second place is so much more in excess than most people. It's showing gratitude for what you do have and not complaining in your book about having the smaller room, dude. Like, this man needs to be woken up with a wake-up call about how ridiculous he sounds. You clearly don't have your priorities in line. And I think him going to Africa and working with a lot of these orphan children who have lost parents to AIDS, it was a good thing for Harry. But he needs to stay his butt there longer to really understand the position he is in. That being a spare is not a bad thing. And him looking at it as a bad thing means that somebody is speaking these words into his ear that it is, and he's listening, or he's coming up with it himself. And the ridiculous whole idea around now, you look at being a spare as a bad thing and writing this book, it just shows ungrateful. Ungrateful spare is what it is. You be lucky you are the spare, dude, because a lot of people don't have half of what you have. Your priorities and how you look at life are clearly not in focus. It's like you need to focus your eyeballs. Focus your eyeballs on what really is important. Because you clearly don't understand nothing. And now Catherine and William have to go around trying not to use the word spare because of how Harry has interpreted the word. And I love how Catherine and William are taking their children on royal visits so that they can understand this is duty, this is responsibility. You are in a very privileged position. You should feel very honored to be able to be the representative on behalf of a country, to go speak to people who are less fortunate and to be able to impact their lives positively. And Harry has missed the boat on the meaning of his whole existence with the book Spare. That book should have never been written. And if it were to be written, it certainly should not have been called Spare. It's spare us your crybaby attitude that shows you don't even understand gratitude for what you do have. Okay? So I'm just beside myself with this man and his nonsense. And I'm so happy that Catherine and William are seeing how they are going to put a positive highlight on the lives of their children, not to make them feel the way maybe Harry has felt with this word spare, but to show their children exactly what I just said. Just to show the children, look, you've got it pretty darn good. Be grateful.